Alright, what's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode. So, welcome to another edition of Soul Ramble mode, and, again, this is a little bit of a cop-out, only because I have yet to even mention Marvel Rivals on this channel. I have not talked about this game, I have not talked about the other game I'm going to talk about, which is very obvious, Overwatch. But naturally, of course, I've decided that every time that I do a Soul Ramble mode, it's most likely going to be for something of a test run for a topic that we have yet to discuss truly on this channel. Right, I talk about a lot of Sonic and Zelda and Kingdom Hearts on this channel. That much is very clear. Everything else, it's very hit or miss with you guys, I can tell. So I wanted to do a test run and just talk a little bit about Marvel Rivals today, right? Now, you have seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail. It is no mystery as to why, or what we're going to be talking about, which is why I would like Marvel Rivals to succeed, right? And with these last couple of hours that I've been playing, right? I've been playing for a good 11 hours at this point. I've been enjoying it very, very much. I've had a very good time. Me and my homies have just been nonstop. Every chance we get, we get on and we grind. It's been a very solid 2 days with this game, right? So far, I have no real issues with the game. One of these days, depending on how this video does, I'll probably do another video of my first impressions, or the first week with Marvel Rivals, in front of the camera and everything like that, like a real video. So, we'll see how things go depending on this here. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. The game is obviously very fun. It's very good. I feel like it has a lot of potential to last a very long time, depending on how they treat the game, right? But the thing about this game, the thing that's most interesting about this game, the thing that made a lot of people, even outside of Marvel fans, pick this game up, is the fact that it is finally giving Overwatch, the 5v5 shooter, or what used to be the 6v6 shooter, hero shooter rather, a run for its money. I think that most games, right, should have some form of competition, and I think that it's a very good thing that Marvel Rivals kicked it into high gear in terms of presentation alone, just so that people were just like, oh, it looks a lot like Overwatch, but it's different. It's Marvel, it's familiar characters, and, Marvel fans obviously see a lot of potential in this game. They see it lasting a very, very long time, and they want to see this game succeed, right? As do I. I have I did play Overwatch when it first came out a lot. Overwatch 1 was my game. I was playing that game a ton, right? And then eventually I fell off. I just wasn't really feeling the meta anymore. And then eventually they came out with Overwatch 2, played it a little bit, didn't see any point in it at all. And, there's a lot of things we got to talk about there. There's a lot of things, right? So we're going to kick things into high gear here, and we're going to talk about why I want Marvel Rivals to succeed. And yes, Overwatch is a very prominent part of the discussion today. So, in my little notes here, I have listed two things that I want to happen. One or the other, right? I want one or the other things to happen. One is that the game is so good that people do start turning away from Overwatch a little bit, right? And I guess these two things actually go hand in hand, but I'll talk about it in a minute. But if this game is good enough for a lengthy amount of time, with a lengthy amount of updates and a lot of proper care and things like that, and people do start to turn away from Overwatch because they can finally find some kind of solace in Marvel Rivals, then that would be absolutely splendid, right? And the only reason I say that is because I need Blizzard to learn. Blizzard has had no real actual competition with Overwatch in forever, right? We've seen other little copycats here and there, or other very similar 5v5 shooters, whatever, that just didn't make the cut. They just didn't make the mark to last long enough for more than a day, possibly even a week. I can't even think off the top of my head any other rival shooter games that could even potentially stand up to Overwatch until Marvel Rivals, which is perfect because it has the IP to back it, it has the funding, it has all of the, the voice casting and things like that. They did a phenomenal job with the voice casting, and they just put a lot of love and care into this game to make it some, extremely high quality. Something that everybody and their mothers could see themselves coming back to time and time and time again, depending on what characters are introduced, because Marvel is endless. That's what's crazy about it. Marvel is so endless. I can see this game lasting for a very, very long time, which is why there is a potential possibility in which people do finally start to turn away from Overwatch a little bit, right? And I guess, you know what, we're just going to go right into my second thing, because these things do kind of go hand in hand, which is the fact that if people start to forget about Overwatch a little bit, this is actually something that starts to kick Blizzard into high gear and rethink everything that they have done in regards to Overwatch 2, right? The problem with Overwatch 2 that everybody can agree on, is that it was a complete waste of time in regards to the fact that there never needed to be a 2, ever. If it was just simply Overwatch, and they just simply continue to update it, continue to make the game a little bit better here and there, continue to balance it, continue to add a bunch of, heroes and things like that, and hell, even made it free to play just off rip and things like that, it wouldn't have been a problem. It never would have been an issue, because, that's what the game has always been. But for whatever reason, they just went ahead and decided to wipe the slate completely clean, which is kind of purposeless, in my opinion. I don't understand why they did that, because Overwatch 2 didn't really update anything all that heavily in terms of what graphics. Are graphics better? I don't remember. It's been a very, very long time since I played Overwatch 1, but the difference was so incredibly minimal and pointless that there was really never a need for them to completely wipe the slate, especially because there was allegedly crossplay at first between Overwatch 1 and 2. So if you didn't want to download Overwatch 2, you already had Overwatch 1, you could just do that. But I don't get it. There was genuinely no point to that. There was just a lot of pointless decisions to Overwatch 2, and that's what made it an issue, right? I don't really I really don't understand the purpose behind it. But regardless, I have a couple of things to say in regards to why I'm even talking about all of this, right? First of which is that, like I said earlier, I think that every game that is part of whatever platform, whether it be, whatever genre of game that you're playing, whether it be an RPG, whether it be a platformer, whether it be a platform fighter, whether it be a hero shooter, whatever, or a regular shooter, there should always be some form. No matter how that has to happen, there should always be some form of competition within that space. There should never, ever, ever be only one singular game that completely dominates that space. Okay? It makes things a lot more interesting for everybody involved, right? Whether it be the creators, whether it be the players, if there is some form of competition between games, right? Especially for free-to-play games that have very similar things going on, like for, right now with, Overwatch as well as Marvel Rivals, right? Because you think about it this way, right? Look at Fortnite right now. It is the absolute completely dominating battle royale. What other battle royale games can you think of off the top of your head that you've played within the last couple of years outside of Fortnite? Because, I'm sure there's some, but none that you played so consistently that they made charts like Fortnite did. What other battle royale games can you name? Because I'm certainly having trouble. And I play a lot of games, man. I definitely would have looked into other battle royales, right? And so when it comes to hero shooters, I didn't even really consider the fact that that could have been its own genre. Overwatch was pretty much one of the only ones of its kind for a while, right? Of course, there were plenty of others out there, and, again, they didn't last very long. Hell, look at Concord, the game that PlayStation spent $400 million on, and literally it lasted 2 weeks before it got completely canned and shut down entirely. There's no other hero shooters. There's literally no other competitors within that space, and that's strange. That is completely weird. There should be other games of high quality that can stand up to something like the Dominators, like Fortnite, like Overwatch. And I'm glad. That's what makes me glad that Marvel Rivals exists, because, again, it has the IP to back it, to make it, very interesting, which is all of the Marvel characters, the entire Marvel universe, which is seemingly endless at this point, right? There's just endless ways they could go about it, endless cosmetics, endless characters. There's just so many things they could do with it that it's just so much fun. It's just such a good idea, and it's so good that this game is so high quality, so polished, and so well taken care of. I mean, you could tell the game came out just the other day, just hit an all-time peak with almost 500k players yesterday. No server issues, zero complaints from anybody in the community. Outside of one little complaint here and there. I'll talk about that in a different video, but it's a game that definitely proves that it can stand strong doing what it's doing. And, even if it does have a similar vibe to Overwatch, that's not entirely the worst thing. especially because, again, I do think that, it's one thing you could consider it a ripoff, and that's totally fine. I get it. But I think that even as a ripoff, it's so high quality that you can consider it its own thing, and that it can stand on its own 2 feet as a rival or a opposing force to Overwatch. And that's something that it needs, right? And the reason that I say that it needs something like that is because I want them to really consider what Marvel Rivals is doing right now. It's got off rip 30, what are we at, 30 characters to play as already, which is insane for a brand new shooter. A brand new shooter having well over 30 playable characters off rip for free is absolutely insane. You have cosmetics that you can easily just work towards. You never have to spend a dime on the game if you really don't want to work towards cosmetics. It may take you a little longer, but that's the point of free to play. You do not have to invest in cosmetics if you do not want them. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? 2 things that it already has on Overwatch, because Overwatch doesn't even, I think we just have that many characters, maybe a little bit over that. We have 40, 50 characters, and we're already well over halfway there with Marvel Rivals. Okay. And of course, there's the most meticulous thing is the Battle Pass, which allows for us to, the Battle Pass in itself, awesome, cool, great. Obviously, that's going to be a thing in a live service game. That's kind of a given. But simply the fact that you can keep the Battle Passes and work on them whenever you want makes it worth a monthly subscription to Marvel Rivals alone, because that means you'll be getting all of these Battle Passes. You choose what you want to work on, you choose what cosmetics you want to get, and you can just continuously earn throughout the entirety of this game's lifetime, no matter what. That is something no other Battle Pass has done yet, and I think it's dumb that no other Battle Pass has done that yet. Fortnite, if Fortnite were to do that, people would be spending they would be selling their eyeballs for these Battle Passes, man. These people would stay winning. Everybody would get all the cosmetics they've ever wanted from previous Battle Passes. It's crazy to me that people can't get some of these super old Marvel skins in Fortnite. People can't get some of these older skins from Fortnite that they've been wanting forever. I can't get Drift. I've been wanting Drift since I learned what it was, but I didn't understand how Battle Passes worked when, Drift was a thing, was a bundle in Fortnite. Couldn't get it. I can't get it. It's too late, and I'm just forever cooked. Nothing I can do about that. It sucks, but it is what it is, because Battle Passes are exclusive. People can't get things like Spider-Gwen anymore. Isn't that kind of ridiculous? After this upcoming Battle Pass, people won't be able to get Baymax, for Christ's sakes. That's crazy, okay? And that's why Marvel Rivals is... people are putting eyes on it right now, because they really are putting the people first. They're saying, hey, we're going to give you guys these passes. Obviously, you still have to work for them if you want to, complete the Battle Passes and things like that. But there is absolutely no reason that if you paid money for this Battle Pass, that you should be able to lose out on all of the cosmetics and things that were available within it simply because you were not playing every single day. People get busy, people get tired, people get hung up on things, people are living their daily lives. Not every single moment of their time can be dedicated to playing the game and finishing every single Battle Pass that comes out every couple of months, because Battle Passes be coming out very frequently in a lot of these games to the point where a lot of people can't keep up. There was a point where I was completing Battle Pass after Battle Pass in Fortnite once upon a time, but then real life started to hit and I couldn't keep doing that. That was not a thing that I could continue doing, okay? And so it goes to show that they really are putting the players first a little bit, because I want to work towards these cosmetics, but I may not have all the time in the world to do that. So by giving me an out, by giving me an option to work on it later, even if another Battle Pass does come through, guess what, man? Now I have this Battle Pass available to me. Maybe I see something in the new Battle Pass I want. Maybe I'll work on that Battle Pass a little bit faster. Then I'll be able to go back and work on the previous Battle Pass, and then I'll be working towards something at every given moment. And that is a beautiful, incredible thing. Something that Overwatch would never have considered. They would still never consider something like that. And to an extent, I understand, right? The entire point of exclusivity is so that it's exclusive. The point of exclusive skins is so that, you have definitive proof that you worked hard during a specific season or during a certain time during the game's during that phase of the game's lifetime to earn those cosmetics, to earn those emotes or whatever. But at the end of the day, where does that get you when it comes to, the player? Because, okay, now I just don't have those exclusive skins. Cool. I'm just going to play a little bit less because now I've realized that I don't need to be spending money on every single battle pass that comes my way. I haven't bought I up until this point, I hadn't bought the battle pass for Fortnite in months. I had not, the last like 3 seasons, didn't even look at it. I got this one because of Baymax, and I'm going to definitely finish this one, but, I missed out on Fallout. I missed out on, I think, another Disney thing or something. I don't even remember, but regardless, that's one of those things where now you look at Marvel Rivals and you think, wow, I have as much time as I want to work on this battle pass that I paid for, that I should be able to work on because I paid good money for this, so why not? And it just makes sense. And it's one of those things where I really want Overwatch to take a look at this, or specifically Blizzard in this case, to take a look, and I need one of two things to happen. I need them to fail, or I need them to get scared. Right? And that's why I keep saying, I want this game to succeed. Because this game succeeding means that Overwatch truly is failing as a video game. Most people will already agree that it is. Even the people that play it, that are coming back to Overwatch like it's a Toxic X, will agree that the game is failing its players, failing its fan base. But they still play it. Right? And, it's never going to be a true fall off in which nobody will ever play Overwatch again. Like, that's dramatic. People are still going to play Overwatch every single day. And there's really no getting around that. But maybe them seeing a big fat loss in player base, them seeing a big drop off of consistent players might actively kick them into high gear and realize what they were doing. Okay. And by the way, this is coming from somebody that's fully well outside of Overwatch, right? Haven't kept up with Overwatch 2 since it dropped. I played, I've been in and out here and there a couple of times, yada, yada, yada. Like, I've played with friends and things like that, but I haven't spent a dime on Overwatch 2. Not a single penny. But I'm already ready to spend some money on Marvel Rivals. That's interesting, isn't it? That's real unique, isn't it? I want them to figure out where they messed up. And they messed up in a lot of different ways. Again, one of their biggest problems was that Overwatch 2 is completely pointless. But one of the reasons that it came out to be pointless is because they made so many different promises about this game. Things and mechanics that were going to come to this game that never did. Right? PvE and things like that. PvE was a massive promise that they made. Just never came to be. More cinematics and things like that. We haven't seen real cinematics about these characters and their lore in ages. In literally, well over half a decade, I have not seen any, major animations from Overwatch explaining the lore, getting into the characters, getting into their stories. That's how you get me into anything. If there's unique and interesting lore about characters that have fun and unique and fun, interesting designs, I'm there. I'm invested. And Overwatch had that for a time. They had lore. They had fun-looking characters. They had awesome skins. Overwatch 2 came around, wasn't really seeing that as much, and I fell off. No mystery as to why. They promised PvE and stuff like that. I decided to, hold my ground and see where they go with it, and they went nowhere. Only for them to bring back Overwatch Classic when things were getting desperate so that they could get a, they essentially pulled a Fortnite. It was just like, oh, people want original stuff back. Well, let's, make a separate mode for it temporarily and see how that goes. And it's awful. it's truly awful. So here we are. Years later, Overwatch sucks, and there's really no denying that. People who play it will tell you it sucks. Okay? And I've played enough of it to tell you, I play because my friends play, not because I personally have that much fun with it, if we're being so honest. For Marvel Rivals, that I am having fun with, win or lose. It's not, again, it's not a perfect game. I do have my gripes with it like anybody else, and we'll talk about that in its own separate video, things that I want to see. If that's something you want to see, if that's a video you want to see, make sure to drop a like and let me know, because I'm down to make more Marvel Rivals videos if you guys would like to see that. Okay, and I'll definitely make some gameplay videos too for Marvel Rivals on my other channel, Soul Battle Mode. So, stay tuned for that. But regardless, I want Marvel Rivals to do well in general, right? Not even for the sake of just being competition for Overwatch, but solely because I like Marvel Rivals. I like it as a concept. I like the fact that it's third person. I like that it's more like just action based and very comic book oriented. It's just got a very fun style and aesthetic about it. I can't wait to see what kind of events they come up with. I can't wait to see what new characters they introduce, because there's a lot of characters that I want to see. Deadpool, the Fantastic Four, things like that. There's a lot of Marvel characters that I would love to see introduced in this game, and I would just like to see this game succeed solely because there's a lot of different cosmetics I would like to see them introduce, and I would just like to be able to see this game grow and build and just have a lot of tie-ins and fun things about it that make it a fun little background game for me and my friends every now and again to come back to, even if we do fall off within the next couple of months or whatever, even if we're not playing every single day. I want it to be my next Fortnite. I want this game to be that game where I'm like, you know, that's in constant rotation. Like when I'm not playing, you know, the next big RPG that I've been waiting on, like Final Fantasy VII R Part 3 or the Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever. In my downtimes, you know, there's games that I want to definitely play a little, you know, more of, and that's, you know, games like Marvel Rivals, things like Fortnite, things like Multiverses. You know what? Replace Multiverses with Rivals of Ether. I like Marvel's Rivals. Rivals of Ether. That was a tongue twist. That was crazy. But you guys get what I'm getting at this point. I want this game to do well. I want to see it succeed. I want to see it grow to exponential heights. I want to see it balanced more. I want to see it played more. I want to see it get more cool cosmetics for all of these different characters. I want to see more characters. There's a lot of Marvel characters I want to see, and I can't wait for the future of Marvel Rivals, especially because there is a chance that maybe, just maybe, this is finally going to be the thing that kick Blizzard into high gear, really look at what they've got on the table and truly take a step back and realize how they can make their game better, which is by actually caring about the game itself and the players that are playing it, because that is the first step to making a good game, I think, or at least a good live service game. So I don't know, that's where I'm at with that, but you can disagree with me if you feel like it. I don't blame you. But either way, that just about does it for that. I wanted to do a little Soul Ramble mode on Marvel Rivals because I want to make more content on this. I want to talk more about this game. I want to see, you know, the future brings with this, and, you know, I want to make more predictions of characters that are going to come. I want to make a little wish list here and there. I want to talk about the cosmetics I would love to see, and just see, you know, just talk more about and events, of course, and things like that I would love to happen in Marvel Rivals. So this is going to be my test run. We'll see what happens with this. Again, drop a like if you want to see more. But regardless, I think I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. But before I go, I would like to pass the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? You want Marvel Rivals to succeed for multiple reasons? Do you also want to see it really kick Blizzard into high gear, and maybe that'll make Overwatch a little bit better of a game over time as they really start to rework their mindsets and then rework the game as a result? And you think that maybe we could see a brighter future for both of these games because there's competition between them? Or are you in disagreement? You don't think that this game needs to succeed in any way? Maybe you hate the game, or you just don't really care if it succeeds or not. You just enjoy the game enough and you don't really care about Overwatch regardless. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, yes, sir, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm Gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!